Hey all, Shawnyrick here, and today we're going to talk about the error 6 code that you can get where it flashes error 6 on your display screen and it indicates that you have a low voltage problem. It could be one of three things: a fuse that has popped, the charging port being bad, or possibly your battery. So let's get started. With the Pegasus, you have to flip the scooter upside down. Use a chair or a stool or something to prop it like this, like the way I have it, in order to access everything, such as the wires, the fuses, the controllers, the battery, all that good stuff. So let's get started by unscrewing this and going from there. Once you get the back cover off, then as you can see where the battery goes and sits, and all the wiring right here, along with your two controllers and all that good stuff. So I need to have access to the battery too. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start taking the cover off to the battery. And then now what we want to do is we want to lift the battery out of here. Nice tight fit. Alright. And once you have your battery like that, put it to the side. And then now we have to pull all these wires away, and we got to find the problem or the source of the error code. Alright, so I have a feeling it's this fuse, because this fuse is tied into the battery that goes to your port to charge your scooter on. If it pops, it separates the charging from taking place from your port over here when you plug it into the wall in order to charge the battery. So if you're getting a low voltage problems, 9 times out of 10, this is the fuse that's causing your problem. So let's check it out right now and see if I'm right. And then, yep, look at that. See how it's loose and it shakes? And I believe that right in there, it's all burnt. It popped and it's loose. So that's one problem right there solved. So we just got to get a new fuse. So let's go ahead and put the new fuse in. All right. Now, before I did the video, I already found out that this battery is also shot. So we replaced the fuse because it did have a bad fuse. And then what happened was that the Pegasus sat for so long with it not being able to charge correctly that the cells have died out and this isn't functioning at full capacity. Take the old battery out like this one and replace it with a new one. So let's get started with that. All you got to do is find your two wires here, unplug from the controller, unplug the other one, and then you have one more down here, and it's a little yellow one. It goes to the charging port, a little charging port plug here, which is this one. Unplug that. If the battery was good, then this fuse here would have been the only issue that you would have to replace to fix the error 6 code. But since it is the battery as well, and all the fuses are tied into the battery wires, we're going to be replacing the whole thing anyways. Once you get your new battery, then what you do, you're going to want to put the front part of the battery in first. Snug it right up to the wires, and then once you have that in place, then you just push straight down, slow as you can, slow and steady. This is lithium powered battery, so be super cautious when you're working with these. Okay, then once you get the battery in place, You want to get your charger port connectors plugged back in. Then you want to get your controller to battery connections plugged back in. Remember, black, black, red to red, never cross the wires. Then once that's all plugged in, you want to try to seat it all back inside here as much as possible so you can get the cover back on. And then here's a little tidbit though that I figured out too, and I wanted to show you all. If you ever want to replace the headlight on the Pegasus, this is the wire and the controller for it right here. And then I'm pretty sure that you could just take an aftermarket light too if you wanted it, and you could tie it into this. And then it's tied into your battery and it still turns on when you want it and all that good stuff. So just wanted to let you know that's where that connector is in order to work on your Pegasus light or to replace it. Alright, so let's continue on by getting these wires tucked back in here on the side. Put the little light controller down around like that and kind of just make sure it stays tucked down, and then you're good to go. Okay, then all you got to do is put your cover back onto your battery. Alright, so once you got your battery in, covers back on, wires are tucked back in, fuses all look good. Anytime that you have to repair anything with any of these scooters and you already have the cover off, it's always good to either re-waterproof it and take advantage of it if you haven't done it and waterproof it. Because once you do that, especially with the new battery and new fuses and all that good stuff, you shouldn't have to take the apart again like this for a very, very long time unless you have another problem. Then now we just got to put the cover back on. Alright, so we got the Pegasus outside after we've just repaired the error 6 code, put in a new battery, and we also looked at the fuses, and now we're going to turn it on and see what happens. And as you can see, no more error 6 code. Everything looks like it's running properly. All is good to go. Battery level indicator is good. So let's drive it around. That, my friends, is how you fix an error 6 code on your Pegasus.